Okay, so here's the thing. A huge economic shock has already started. And yeah, the news headlines might be calming down a little, but the real financial consequences, they haven't really hit most of us yet. We're going to break down exactly how this is all going to impact your wallet before it really starts to bite. See, the conflict in Iran kicked off this economic chain reaction, and honestly, it's just not being fully reported. The mainstream media seems to be keeping everyone a bit confused, but we're going to connect the dots that actually matter. And look, it's a totally fair question. You might be thinking, what does a conflict thousands of miles away really have to do with my daily life? Well, as it turns out, it has everything to do with it, from the gas in your car to the food on your kitchen table. So let's do just that. Let's trace this domino effect and see exactly how one single event can ripple through the global economy and land right on your doorstep. It all started with the very first domino to fall, a super rapid series of events that ended with the shutdown of one of the most important trade routes on the entire planet. And this all happened so fast. I mean, think about it. February 28th, the US and Israel launch a strike. Iran fires back almost immediately. But the move that truly sent a shockwave through the global economy, that came on March 2nd, when Iran shut down the Strait of Hormuz. To really get a handle on this, imagine a single super highway that 20% of the entire world's oil supply has to travel through every single day. And there are no other roads. Now, imagine that highway is suddenly blocked solid. Yeah, that's basically what just happened. And the fallout? Whoa. It was immediate and it was dramatic. Oil went from about $61 a barrel at the start of the year to over $118 by the end of March. That's almost a doubling in just 3 months. We haven't seen a price jump like that in nearly 40 years. That is huge. Now, you might be thinking, but hey, there was a ceasefire, right? Prices calmed down a bit. And you'd be right. But the damage was already done. Think of it like a case of food poisoning. The moment you stop eating the bad food, you don't instantly feel better, right? The poison is already in your system. And that's exactly what's happening with prices right now. And this isn't just about what you pay at the pump, not even close. Oil is like the invisible ingredient in pretty much everything you buy. Every single item in your grocery cart was grown, it was packaged, and it was shipped using energy from oil. So when oil gets more expensive, every single one of those steps gets more expensive too, which, of course, leads us right to the next domino in the chain. Because when your personal bills go up, what do? You naturally start spending less, right? And that creates a really dangerous situation for businesses and, ultimately, for your job. You see, businesses get hit from both sides at the same time. On one side, their own cost for materials, for shipping, for just keeping the lights on are going through the roof. And on the other side, their customers, that's you, are cutting back. It's this classic sandwich squeeze. And when a business gets squeezed like this, the playbook is pretty predictable and honestly pretty grim. It starts small. Maybe they cut some overtime hours or put a freeze on hiring new people. But as that pressure keeps building, it almost always leads to layoffs. So right about now, you're probably thinking, okay, this is bad, but come on, the government will step in, right? They'll fix it. And in past crises, there was usually some kind of safety net. But this time, I'm worried that safety net has a massive hole ripped right through the middle of it. It's the question on everyone's mind. The government's usual playbook is pretty simple. Cut interest rates to make borrowing cheap, or just fire up the money printers. But here's the thing. That playbook just isn't going to work this time. Let's just start with this number, $39 trillion. That is the current U.S. national debt. It's a number so big, it's almost meaningless, right? Except its effects are very, very real. And here's where that massive number really hits home. For every single tax dollar the government collects, almost 20 cents, 19 cents to be exact, goes straight to paying just the interest on that debt. Not for schools, not for hospitals, just interest. You just can't keep borrowing more money when you're already struggling to make the minimum payments. So, when you put all of these dominoes together, you've got rising prices, a shaky job market, and a government that basically has its hands tied. You get a scenario that economists have a particularly nasty name for: stagflation. Stagflation is kind of like the evil twin of a normal recession. It's this absolutely toxic mix where the economy is slowing down, people are losing their jobs, but at the exact same time, the cost of living just keeps going up. This chart really lays out the painful difference. See, in a normal recession, when people stop spending, prices usually fall. But with stagflation, you get the absolute worst of both worlds. Your income is at risk, but your bills just keep getting higher.
And look, this isn't happening in some isolated bubble. The biggest, smartest financial players on the planet, we're talking central banks, they see this. They see the instability. And very quietly, they're starting to back away from the US dollar as the world's go-to safe currency.
You have to remember, for decades, the absolute safest bet in the world was US government debt, or treasuries. I mean, back in 2015, they made up a third of all central bank reserves. Gold was way down at just 9%. Now look at today. Just look at this. The whole thing has completely flipped. Gold has shot up to 24% of reserves, while US treasuries have dropped all the way to 21%. That, my friends, is a major vote of no confidence from the smartest money in the world. Okay, so after all that, what does this actually mean for you, for me, for everyday people? Because an economic crisis like this, it doesn't hit everyone the same way. In fact, it's not even close. Just look at this divide. It's huge. Folks in low-income households spend about a third of their entire income just on food. For middle-income families, it's more like 13%. So when food prices spike, for some, it's an annoyance. For others, it is life-changing. It's the difference between noticing the price of gas and wondering if you can even afford to drive to work at all. The hard reality here, and it is a hard reality, is that the systems that are supposed to protect us, they're under an incredible amount of strain. During the last big energy crisis, a huge chunk of government aid ended up as profit for big energy companies, not in the pockets of families who needed it. The middle class is being squeezed, and you just can't assume that someone else is going to fix this for you. And this is exactly why taking responsibility for your own financial education has never been more important. So the final question here isn't about what the government is going to do. It's about what you are going to do. In this new economy, who is really truly responsible for your financial future?